Hello, this is Danica from Project Grief coming in live from my living room. Isn't that a beautiful display back there? That's our wedding picture. I'm coming to talk to you today about art as a tool for healing and why exactly it's such a great tool for healing, specifically from grief. We have a special promotion going on for back to school where you can try our monthly subscription for only $1. So it's a great way to just jump in, see if it's something for you, and if not, that's okay. But I want to talk to you today about art as a tool for helping to contain the overwhelming emotions and thoughts of grief. So first things first, you don't need to be an artist in order to experience the benefits of using art in your grief journey. Fine art, or what people usually think of when you say, I'm not an artist, which I hear all the time, is all about a product. That's fine art, and it's the skill, it's the final thing that people think of with art. But grief art, on the other hand, is all about the process you go through in order to get to that final product. It doesn't have to be pretty, and often it's not very pretty, but that's because we're expressing something that's not very beautiful. Grief isn't pretty either, so it's okay to make something that's less than aesthetically pleasing, and that's the awesomeness of grief art and the power of process. So today let's talk about the need for confinement. Oftentimes when grief happens, it feels so big and so scary, you're almost in a fight or flight response. So fight, for example, would be you combat all the negative emotions with positive thinking. Oh, he's at least in a better place. Oh, at least they're not suffering anymore. You do that to yourself in a fight response. You might keep yourself from breaking down in order not to offend anyone for fear of what they'd think, or you might take your emotions out indirectly through anger. That's the fight response. And the flight response is often manifested in emotional numbness. Either it's intentional or unintentional. You just can't feel anything anymore. It's often looks like withdrawal from friends and family, or trying a variety of coping mechanisms that are actually dealing with your grief, but they're helping you get through whether healthy or not. That's the flight response. Now there is a third option, but it requires a change in mindset. Grief is terribly big, but if we falsely assume that we have to deal with it all in one sitting or at one 6-month period or 2 weeks of work off, we place ourselves on the losing side of our emotional health. In reality, grief can be dealt with bit by bit over a long period of time. It's that process that grief art is so great at. So there's this motto that I live by in my adventures with Project Grief. It's because grief takes us beyond words, we must go beyond words in order to heal. And that's the power of art. So I don't have statistics on this, but I believe that the majority of modern day people have never really dealt with their grief. If that's you, I hear you and I feel you right now, and I've been there. But often the prevailing problem of our grief is that it just seems so big. And when you look at a problem that big, it's hard to know how or where to start. And we'll deal with where to start in a future section. But when we're feeling fighty or flighty, tackling a problem of that size is the last thing we want to do. So how in the world can we get out of this fight or flight response? This is where art comes in handy. So visual art is most often confined to the 4 corners of a canvas or piece of paper. It works within the constraints of 2 dimensions and the properties of a chosen medium, like watercolor or charcoal or even marker Crayola crayons. And it also utilizes symbolism. So that symbolism compacts big ideas into small chunks of meaning. Like street signs are all symbols, and letters are even symbols for meaning. And you can see it often in Catholic iconography. Every object and gesture means something. It's so cool. That's symbolism, and you can symbolize grief by a simple scribble of black on a piece of paper. Art makes a big thing like grief controllable and approachable. It makes a big overwhelming conglomerate of feeling containable. That's because it's so much easier to face the bigness of your grief when you know its exact dimensions. In this case, an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. And I'm speaking metaphorically, of course. Art is a perfect candidate to help us with our grief because it can encapsulate great meaning in a small space. A simple prompt to draw how you feel might be intimidating at first, and that's okay, don't stop there. But then pick up a red or black crayon and scribble circles on a piece of paper until it's covered. Now, didn't you just express something profound with that small, simple action? There's another benefit to be had here as well. The meaning you contained within your canvas is carried on, and it speaks for itself. So the next time someone asks, "How are you doing?" that fearful question, I hate that one when you're not doing okay. Try showing them instead a piece of art that you create. You might need to explain it a bit, but chances are they'll know exactly what you mean when they look at that scribble and say, "Oh, I see." Art helps you deal with overwhelming feelings in a small, safe space. How has art helped you? Please comment below. I'd love to hear. And don't forget that Project Grief is on your side. We don't want anyone to have to go through this alone, and especially when you feel stuck in grief. We've created tools to help you find your stuck and get unstuck. That's what we're all about. So go to projectgrief.org. There's a special promo. If you enter fall as the promo code at checkout, you can get $1, the monthly subscription for only $1, or you can get 25% off the one-time purchase. So we'd love to see you there. It's a great community, and I look forward to working with you. If you want to try out Project Grief, just see how it is for free. You can also sign up for Grief Art 101. It's a great mini course that shows you the basics of how Project Grief works and a little bit of where we're headed, as well as a small project to try out for free. I hope you have a great day. Please comment below about art and how art has helped you as well. I'll see you later. Bye.